Hello everyone, Grandma here. Today is such a beautiful day that Grandpa and I decided we're going to take a picnic to the park. We thought it would be fun to take a Great Depression picnic. This is not vintage. This is a replica picnic basket that I'm going to take. This is what people would have taken years ago. They didn't have plastic coolers. I'm going to show you the inside of the basket. And look how nice it is. It has compartments here to put some items in here. And then it has napkins. And this is what they would have used during the Great Depression. They used all kinds of cloth, whatever they had, either napkins or even scrap material. They would take and use it as a napkin. So I'm going to pack this picnic basket with our lunch. And I'm going to pack it the way they would have packed it during the Great Depression. So we're not going to use any plastic. I'm going to start by making us meatloaf sandwiches. And this is the country meatloaf that I made. So I'll put a link to the video below. I can't cut it this way. I have to cut it this way. This is another reason I like to shape my meatloaf like this, because I like it to make it for sandwiches. Grandpa and I love leftover meatloaf sandwiches. People like to make sandwiches during the Great Depression because they could use their leftover food. Now, Grandpa likes a little ketchup on his meatloaf. And back then, mostly everybody used white bread. And my grandmother actually made her homemade white bread for her large family. Okay. This is what I'm going to wrap the sandwiches with. And years ago, nobody had the Ziploc plastic bags to put sandwiches in. And it's very easy. All you do is fold it and then fold the ends and push it in the back. And that's how easy it is to wrap your sandwich. I never used Ziploc sandwich bags my entire life for sandwiches. When I made Grandpa sandwiches for his work, when he went to work, I would wrap it this way. And another nice thing about wrapping the sandwiches with wax paper is you could use the wax paper as a placemat. So now the two sandwiches are ready. Now after I wrap the sandwiches, I'm going to put them in a paper bag. And these paper bags are great. I've used them for years. Whenever my family would go on a picnic, I would write everybody's name on the front of the bag so everybody would know which one was their lunch. Since Grandpa and I are eating the same food, I'm not putting names on them. I could put two in one bag since we have the same, we're eating the same. And then we're ready. We have it all packed. See how nice? Simple, easy. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start packing the picnic basket. And I'll put the sandwiches right here for now. And I have the napkins on the bottom. Now I'm packing some coleslaw to eat with our sandwiches. And this recipe is from Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm putting it in a glass jar because years ago, that's all people used. If they didn't have a mason jar, they just used a glass jar with a metal lid. So this is how I'm packing this for Grandpa and I. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on now. And this will be ready, see, to pack it for the picnic. Now this will be put in a paper bag also. Like I said, years ago, the paper bags were very popular. Everybody used paper bags. for so many things. Okay. And now I'm going to put the coleslaw here next to our sandwiches. And I'm going to bring some cake for dessert, and I'm going to wrap the pieces in wax paper. Because we're just going to take a little bit. See, easy to fold. Very easy. And there you go. One is done. This is the cake Grandpa made. It's the wind cake. And there will be a link below. And this cake is from the Great Depression. And in our household, we can't be without wax paper. We always have a roll of wax paper in our house at all times. And now I'm going to put the two cakes in the paper bag and fold it up. I moved the coleslaw to the over in this position, so when you lift up the basket, the weight will be more on the bottom, and I made room to put the cake. So I'm going to put the cake over here. Two pieces of cake. Years ago, no picnic was complete without bringing some fresh fruit. So I'm wrapping up some blueberries now. And this too will go in a paper bag. This time of year, my grandmother would have picked a lot of fresh fruit because she had a lot of blueberry, raspberry, and gooseberry, currant berry bushes. So my grandmother used to give me a pot, and her and I used to go out and we used to pick all these fresh berries. They were so delicious. I'm going to put the berries here. And the nice part about using the paper bags is that you can reuse them. I moved the napkins up here, so I'm going to get some forks and spoons for over here. Now I'm going to take homemade iced tea for Grandpa and I. And back then too, they didn't pack anything with plastic cups or anything. So you used either mason jars or just a jar in general, or you used a bottle. And that's it. So that's our drink. And Grandpa will have whatever one he prefers to drink out of. This is how I'm going to pack my drinks. I have another little picnic basket, and I have this ice pack here. This is what the vintage ice packs look like. They were made out of rubber, and people would put ice in here and put it on their head when they had a headache, and then this would be squashed down with the ice, and they would have it. Then you put the cap on, and then they'd have ice, and they would put it on their heads to relieve headaches. This is a reproduction that I got years ago, but my grandmother had the original. So now I'm going to put the ice in. Sometimes they would use a hot water bottle, and they would chip the ice and put the ice in that. But this is good because it fits my ice. My ice cubes fit in here. So this is perfect. Back then, a lot of people did not have refrigerators. They had ice boxes. So now I'm going to close this and put it here. And you can feel the coolness coming through the bag already. And this is perfect to keep my drinks cool. So now Grandpa and I will be ready to leave. So these are metal pie plates, and people didn't have plastic back then, so they would take these and use them on their picnic as plates. Obviously, these are new ones, but this is just to illustrate what they would use during the Depression. They usually had pie plates made out of some kind of metal. So I'm not taking these pie plates. Instead of the pie plates, I'm using these metal plates. And they'll be perfect for our sandwich and the coleslaw. Back then, they would have had granite ware or enamel. These fit perfectly in the picnic basket. Grandpa and I are driving to our favorite park. We're going to Caumsett State Park. Look at that, the walking stick looks like a serpent. It's got the eyes, the face, and then it has all those spots. Our tablecloth, so now we're going to set it up for our picnic. Let's open our picnic baskets. Well, that fell out a little bit. See how nice? Our drinks, nothing leaked, no leaks, and they're cold due to the ice in this pack here. Very good. Now we'll set up for our picnic. Let's see how the sandwiches are. They're nice and cold yet. And here's the coleslaw. I'm going to open my sandwich now. And you see how nice? This too becomes like a placemat. And now I'm going to take some coleslaw. And put it on this side. I could even put it on here and keep my plate clean. See, this is why people had to have wax paper all the time, because it's so wonderful. Here, Grandpa, take yours now. How's it taste, Grandpa?
Let you know in a minute, Ma. Very good. The meatloaf sandwich is very good.
Do you like it cold?
Yes. Coleslaw is nice. Cool.
is wonderful. And it's such a beautiful day here. And we're in a nice shaded area. And we have a nice cool breeze. And very relaxing because there's no cars here. This is perfect with our forks. You could eat the berry and have a piece of the delicious cake.
Or we could just eat with our hands.